Hi everyone, welcome to our egg dissection. I'm going to be dissecting an egg and talking to you all about it. So I'm going to adjust my camera right now so you can see the egg being taken apart. Okay, this is an unfertilized egg that I got from my refrigerator. This egg was laid by a hen and was not fertilized. That means there is not a baby chick in here. So this is the kind of egg that we would eat. Now with Easter coming, sometimes your parents will put this into some boiling water and make it a hard-boiled egg. And then you color it and then you might eat it. Well, if you ever have hard-boiled eggs in your refrigerator and they're not colored and you forgot whether they were hard-boiled or raw, one way to tell the difference is taking it and spinning it. If you try to spin it, it's not going to really spin fast because of the yolk inside of it. It's going back and forth, back and forth. If it was hard boiled, it would spin faster. So watch what happens when I spin this, try to spin it fast. It'll start off spinning slowly and then it'll catch up and spin faster. Watch. Now when you're doing this with a hard-boiled egg, it's going to spin really fast right away. Okay, let's take a look at the parts of the egg. Now, the first part is the shell, and the shell is there to protect. It's the chick's first method, the first means of protection. And it's white. It's made up of calcium, which is what your bones are made up of. Now this egg, you think, is not very tough. I could take this with my hand and go like this and break it. But actually the egg is pretty strong. An experiment that you have to do with your parents. Remember, if you're doing any of this on your own, make sure your parents are around, especially this project, this part. To see how strong an egg is, I challenge you or anyone in your house to take the egg, put it in your hand here and here. And if you have it just like that, and you don't move it like this, if you have it just on both ends of the egg, and you take your hands like this, and you could try to squeeze it as hard as you can, and it is not going to break. If you put it the other way, and you did that, it's going to break. One time I was showing this in a class, and as I was doing it, it curved a little bit. So it was like this, and I did it, and it shot out right onto my shirt. So if you go on both ends of this, very, very strong. Now something else on this egg, if you have your magnifying glass at home and you look really close at the shell, there are little pores or holes in the egg, just like you have on your skin. So if you use your magnifying glass and you look on your skin, you're going to see all these little holes or pores. That's where sweat comes out of, but your body also takes in oxygen through those pores. The egg has the same thing. It has little pores all around the shell. And if the chick was inside of there growing, that's how it would get some of its air. That's why if you ever put an egg into an incubator, you do not want the egg to be ever sitting on water because the water will go through those pores. All right, let's take a look here. Now we have the egg shell, which is this protected, and we have the pores on the shell. But now there's another thing. We're going to crack this thing open and take a look at what's inside. Remember, we did that same thing with the bean, so we're dissecting an egg. Now I'm not just going to crack the egg like you normally would if you're making breakfast. I'm going to go to the top, to the flatter end up at the top. It looks like a more pointy end and then a flatter end up at the top. So I'm going to just go ahead and, using a knife, or whatever a spoon, you can use a pencil. I'm going to crack the top part. Let's see where my camera is. Oh, there it is. The top part of the shell, and I'm going to peel off just the top part. First of all, when I'm peeling the shell carefully, you're going to see something that looks like skin. That skin is called the shell membrane. And that shell membrane protects the embryo inside, or baby inside, from bacteria and germs coming into it. So I'm going to peel this off. It also keeps all that yolk and white, all the stuff inside of the egg from moving around a lot. And I'm just peeling off this top part. Now, if I'll get a little bit more here. Now, if I peel off just this top part, there is something called an air cell. And that air cell is one of the ways that the chick that's growing inside will be able to breathe. Just this top part of the egg, there's an air cell, not shell, cell. See, I can turn it upside down, it's not coming out. The membrane is in there, and there's a little air pocket basically in the top. So we have the shell membrane that looks like a skin, we have the air cell up at the top, and now I'm going to go ahead and finish cracking this egg and putting it into a bowl. There is my purple bowl used for the dogs, and I'm going to try to get this out. And it came out pretty nice. Okay, I'm going to move the camera. If you do this, make sure you wash your hands when you're done. Okay, so you can see there is the egg. Okay, well, we know that this yellow part, well, you may have heard this, the yellow part is the yolk. And the yolk, this is not a fertilized egg, but if it was a fertilized egg, you would see a little black spot right about there. That's called the germ spot. That germ spot is going to develop into a chick. Now the chick, the embryo inside, will be eating using the yolk as food. So the yolk will be used as food. Now, the next part of this is the white part. Now the white part of the egg is called the albumin. And the albumin keeps that yolk kind of steady inside of the egg and causes it not to smash up against each side, and keeps it stable inside of the egg. Now there's this neat little thing here. It looks like a twisty, it looks white, and it's called chalaza. It's a weird kind of name. It starts with the CH. I always thought it was chalaza, but it's called the chalaza. And if you can think of a Tootsie Roll and the wrapper of a Tootsie Roll, if you twisted both sides of the Tootsie Roll wrapper, it would get tighter and tighter. Well, that's what this thing is. There's one on right here, and there's one on the other side, and that goes on each side of the egg and keeps that yolk right in the middle, and it also keeps it together. So if I cut that chalaza, the yolk would start coming out. So that is what the inside of an egg looks like. Now, I'm going to go and make some scrambled eggs. Do you want any bacon? I'll see you later. Have fun at breakfast.